Okay, awesome. Thank you for taking my call. I would really like for you to remind me, because I know you have talked about this before, but I cannot think of the words that you used or how you described it. I need for you to please explain the difference between honoring your parents and allowing them to destroy you emotionally and mentally and physically, because it bothers me physically as well.
Hmm. Now, let me ask you a question.
Okay.
Let's take your parents out of the equation for a second, okay? And let's
Okay.
say I'm going to honor someone. When you think of honoring someone, a lot of things that come up on the list, right? We hold them in a special place. We care about their well-being. Various, whatever it is. Does allowing them to abuse me come up on that list of that's honoring?
No.
No,
I
it
I
doesn't.
know
So
it doesn't.
why when you get to the parent application of honoring, why would that come up on the list? It's a reasonable
It
question.
gets confusing. Yeah.
Right. And why does it
um,
get confusing? And why does it get confusing? You've hit it on the nail on the head. Why does it get confusing in this one instance?
because the Bible uses the words to honor your parents,
No, but the Bible
and
uses
I
the
want
word Bible uses the word honor in a lot of different places,
right.
but never does it say, and included in that is taking abuse and allowing somebody to ruin your life and your health and your well-being. So is it because is that why? Because the Bible says it in that one commandment. Is that why? I mean, I'm just wondering where does it get added onto that also means taking abuse?
That's where it comes from, because I will, and I have before drawn a boundary and not seen them for several years,
Hmm.
and and I'm good with it. I'm proud of myself, and but
Okay,
then I will turn around and feel guilty, um, because
because of that
somewhere in my
verse.
life, the legalistic um,
Yeah,
things that
all
I
the
was
voices
brought
from the
up
past.
with.
Okay. Well,
Yes.
what were you brought up with though? You weren't brought up with honor your parents and let them beat you, right?
Um, Pretty
See,
much, yeah.
oh, pretty much, yeah. Well, that's even stronger. Okay, so
Yeah.
here's your question was, what have I said about that, and what do I think about that? And let's kind of say it again. I don't know if what you heard or if I can get it exactly right from what you heard, but I can tell you this: that honor means to give a weighty value to, right? So when we honor a person, tonight we're honoring Joey for all the work that he's done in helping the homeless in our city. We're going to honor Joey. Or today we're honoring Susie or we're going to honor this position. We walk into a courtroom and we say, Your Honor. And we treat the judge with a certain kind of role and a value and deep respect. And actually, it means weighty in some derivations of the word. This is a weightier, this guy, this woman has a weightier position in this room than everybody else. We hold them in a higher esteem. That's what honor means. Okay. So what is it saying? And the Bible flows, throughout this theme in many, many places, in many, many, many ways, that there is a place that our parents have in our lives that is designated by God as part of the created order that no one else has. For example, when we go to the playground as children, if my mother says, I want to leave now, okay, I'm going to,
Mm-hmm.
that's my mother. She has a different role than Mrs. Jones over on the next swing set that says, okay, Henry, it's time to leave now. She doesn't get to tell me that because
Right.
she's not in that role in my life. So we honor our parents all the way to the other end of the line in life. The New Testament says when your parents are getting older, we make a return to them. In other words, we do everything we can to provide for them, to take care of them, to make sure their needs are met in a first in line kind of way compared to all the other elderly people around us. That doesn't mean we don't care for everybody else, but there's something about that position that we always hold higher. That's what it means to honor your parents. Now, mom and dad, you're my parents. I honor you. And you know what you're doing, the way you're yelling at me or screaming at me or attacking my relationships with this that, and the other, that's hurtful to me. And I want you to stop that. See, that's even honoring also because we're honoring the relationship enough to lean into it and want to resolve it. And then if they say, no, we're going to continue to hurt you worse, well, then I've got to obey the 86,400, however many, I don't know how many there are, other scriptures that say, no, I can't enable that. So you can't take one verse and do even
Mm-hmm.
what that verse doesn't say do and eliminate all the other verses that say if someone sins against you. It doesn't say if someone sins against you except your mom and dad in Matthew 18.
Right.
It says if someone sins against you, go to them and confront them. And ultimately, you might have to separate from them. It doesn't say if someone other than mom and dad. It doesn't say speak the truth in love other than mom and dad. It doesn't say if somebody's caught up in a trespass, go and humbly kind of restore them or try to help them other than mom and dad. You just let them continue in their craziness. It does not say that ever, ever, ever anywhere. Also, don't get me started on this. You push the button. What did Jesus say? I came to divide households.
Mm.
He said that. Turn a
Yeah.
mother against her daughter. And he talked about all these relationships because when somebody comes to the light and says, we're not going to participate in this abuse, deception, lying, narcissism, drugs, alcohol abuse, all this kind of stuff, we want to follow God. That's going to divide some houses. So, on your definition of honoring, I wouldn't be able to obey what he's telling me. I mean, does that at least get us started on this?
Yeah. Um,
Now, what I
it
would want to
does.
know, what I would want to know is, have you tried? Right? We want to try. Mom and dad, I want to be close to you. I want to love you. I want to respect you. I want to do all this. But I can only do that and I can only talk to you or be close to you if certain things aren't happening. Have you tried that?
I haven't said that exactly, but I was there a week or so ago. The days have kind of run together in my mind right now, but my aunt died, and I
Mm.
had went, to the memorial service and went to be with my cousin. We were really close, and it seemed like my dad, especially, I have a hard time with him, and he seemed softer. And
Oh, that's
so
nice.
I tried um, to talk with him and, just about a, personal belief that I have. And I didn't even get it out. He started screaming at me and telling me never to talk to him about anything that I wouldn't talk to anybody else about. And it was, it
Wait a
was
minute. Never talk to him about something you
horrible
wouldn't talk to anybody else? I don't understand.
about, yeah. Because it was something that I wouldn't talk to just anybody about, because I know it's a controversial subject. But I wanted him to know how I felt about it. Um, and I wanted him, I thought that he would listen to me. I really thought that this one time,
Why did you
because
think that?
he hasn't in the past, he
Yeah,
just
why did
seems
you think? Why did?
softer.
Hold on a second. What? I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Okay. He
It
seems
seems like what?
softer,
Okay, so he
softer.
kind of, since he was being soft, you thought, oh well, maybe he's changed, and maybe this will go well.
Right. While I
Okay,
had
well
been
you,
there, he had been watching a show that's a drama, and he had been laughing hysterically at it. My father never laughed when I was growing up,
yeah. Okay,
never.
so you got kind
And
of, look.
so
This
it
is
was
totally
different.
understandable. I mean, for a moment, you saw a glimpse of the father that you wish you could have had. Wow, I wish he had been like
Right.
that. It looks like he might even want to talk or might even want to listen or this and the other. And so some kind of hope got resurrected, which is a good thing. We like to have hope. But you found out, no, he's not ready for that. So what I would do, and I've got to get some other callers, but um, a couple of things I would think about: what have you tried in the past in terms of addressing, mom and dad, I'd like to have a better relationship, but sometimes it ends up with this, screaming and all this kind of stuff. Um, could we maybe go see a counselor together to talk about how to have a better relationship? That would be an honoring thing to do. Just to ask them if they could not scream at you would be, I mean, there's a lot of ways to address this. What we want to make sure of, if at all possible, if it's safe, is that we've taken the steps to do everything as it depends on us, as Paul says. One of my favorite verses, he says, in as much as it depends on you, be at peace with everybody. So all we can do is all we can do. So we want to take those steps. But if they prove themselves unable, unwilling, or whatever, unable to have the kind of relationship we're talking about, then they're unable. So what you found out in this moment is, at least right now, you found out, oh, that doesn't work. So if I think I can pick up a pot on the stove and I found out, oh, that's hot, I don't go grab it again. I don't hope that it's cooled off until there's reason to believe that. So that's kind of how I look at it. I refer you to my book, Changes That Heal. There's a whole section on becoming an adult that talks a lot about this honoring parents. And by the way, guys, the rest of you who feel controlled by your parents in adulthood, let me remind you of something. If you're a person of faith, if you're not a person of faith, common sense is going to tell you this, and you don't have some of the goofy stuff that maybe some churches have put on your head that some of the church people do. Here's what the Bible says. It says, children, it tells everybody to honor our parents, which I just described. It says, children, obey your parents. Children, children, children. It also says, when we were children, we were under guardians and managers, i.e., parents, until the date set by the father, your bar mitzvah or bat mitzvah, or the day you grow up and say, thanks, mom and dad, for raising me. I'm going to make up my own mind now. So stop feeling like it's some spiritual activity. If you're an adult and your parents tell you you ought to buy this food, or you should get vaccinated or not get vaccinated, or send your kids to homeschool, or vote this way, or believe this, or all of that, you don't have to obey them. Jesus said, don't call anyone on earth your leader, your rabbi, your teacher, or your father. You are all brothers. That's what he said. So we can go to God as our father, not people.